Good morning, beautiful people. I haven't made a video in a long time, but I have felt really called to make a video on kind of a life lesson that I have been learning a lot more lately, and that is the subject of attachment, kind of how attachment's viewed and how you can have kind of a healthier relationship with attachment, because I have recently came across like different ways that attachment's viewed among like different cultures and different people that I just come across, and then also my own experience with it with like unhealthy attachments. And so I've came across two big lessons with it lately, and that has been with attachment to negative comments about myself, or like attachments of negative ideas from other people that they have on me, or just in general, and then also like attachments to people. And I will touch base on both of them, but I really want to start with the attachment when it comes to the like just negative ideas or other people's ideas, because see, I feel like it's very easy for us to absorb, especially certain people. We kind of all have different personalities, but some people, when they talk to others, they really absorb what the other person's saying, and they really are like, wow, or if they're around a certain crowd of people and they hear people talking a certain way or believing a certain thing or whatever, we adapt to that. Some people are more set in ways that they have maybe like grew up with, learning things that they were told as a kid, or I don't know, we all kind of function a little differently. But for me, I'm someone who tries to, I feel like I'm very much constantly evolving, constantly changing, but who I am around does kind of, I do sponge it a bit. Like I definitely take in other people's ideas. I definitely, certain ways that I've been raised, there's certain things that are kind of set in me, but also not fully. Like I'm kind of, I don't know. I've been trying to keep my mind very open and just learning different things, learning different ideas. But something that I came across, or that I've kind of became more aware of, is with my coworkers that I work with. I have came across kind of an issue of their ideas and how they view my generation or me. I feel like I took on negative feelings from certain things that would be said. And for some like background information, like I work, I only have like a few coworkers. I probably have like 6 coworkers, and they're all, for the most part, around like 15 years older than me, and they are all full-timers. Well, most of them that I see, so like I'd say like 5 of them are full-timers, and there's one other part-timer, but me and the part-timer don't see each other much, and she's a little bit younger than me. But for the most part, a majority of my coworkers that I work with on a regular basis are about 15 to 20 years older than me, and no problem with that. Like I can very much get along with people from different age groups. That doesn't bother me at all, and I'm really happy to work with any age group and whatnot. But naturally I kind of felt like always like there's this kind of like gap, because we are in different life stages. Like they're all married with kids, and I'm currently, like, I just entered my 20s. Like I just turned 20 a couple months ago, and I'm in college, so I work there part-time. Different life stages. I'm really focused right now on traveling. I live at home with my parents. I've been just kind of really into self-exploration and just that part of my life, and they all have kids and a family, and that's great. Both stages are a beautiful stage to have. But the issue that I've came across with them is 3 specific ones will talk very much down on my age group, my generation. They will say certain things that do apply to me. They will say things that just make me feel stupid, when in reality it's just things that have changed from generation to generation, like every single generation has. Like for example, one of them was just talking about how stupid my generation is because they can't do regular signatures. They just sign their name. That is something I do. I don't really see why it's a big deal. I just kind of sign my initials. I don't have a I never learned cursive either. Like, they stopped teaching cursive the grade above me, so never was taught it, and I don't really feel like, you know, it doesn't bother me that I never learned, but to them that's a big deal. Oh, you never learned cursive, like what? Like, I don't know. And there's also just like different views. I have maybe some views that are more progressive, and they're very much set in tradition, and that's fine. I don't actually discuss that with them, but they're very, very open about how stupid they think anyone who thinks differently is. And anytime I'd ask a question relating to the job, like if I have a question on something, which it is a job that you are very much constantly learning information, it's a really important to be detail oriented and be careful with what you're doing, and there's a lot of new situations that you come across, so I do ask a good amount of questions, and with some of these questions I would just be felt stupid. It felt like I don't know, one time I asked for help filling out this, like, I had never been taught how to do it. It was my first time, and I had manually just clicked the shift key and then, or the control button, and then like the keyboard letters to capitalize the letters, just because that's what I'm used to. It was just my habit, and the lady who was my coworker, she got really upset that I didn't press caps lock, and she goes, oh, like, she got really upset. She was just like, oh, like, she was getting very impatient. She's done this multiple times, or she thinks she knows better. She'll just completely take over, and she'll get very upset with me that I'm doing it a certain way when it's just a different way of doing things. There's no right or wrong for the current situation, or if it is wrong, it's a genuine mistake and it's a great learning opportunity. I'll just be like met with hostility. So for a long time I felt like I was just stupid, like I was less than, like I was less hardworking because I was part-time when I'm quite literally in school full-time. Oh, I'm less than because I live with my parents still. I'm less than because I'm not married, I don't have kids, I don't know how it is. I mean, that is something that's very hard, and I don't really know. That comes with all sorts of responsibility. I don't know how it is, but it doesn't make me any less than a person because I'm not married or have kids. Like, I don't know. There was just many instances where I felt that I was less than, and I felt that way, and it would be really hurtful to me. Like, I just started to feel really down on myself, like I was stupid, like I am a failure and I'm not taking anything serious enough, and that I'm just, I don't know, I just had all these assumptions. And then I started the other day, so I went to a different branch to help out and fill in at that location, and I worked with a girl who was 25, so she was kind of close in age to me. Well, not super close, well, we're a couple years apart, but closer than what I'm used to. And she was very kind, and she made me feel like when we were working on things, she included me, and like my ideas were important, and if I didn't know something, she was very happy to teach me, and she was just very collaborative when we worked together, and she was very like friendly and patient and kind. And I was like, wow, like I'm not stupid, like my ideas and, you know, learning processes are very normal. Like, this was just a perspective at my location I usually work, and I started realizing that these coworkers who would constantly have comments about my generation or how this is done, they are all very unhappy with their lives, and it is very sad. But things they've told me about things that their husbands have done, which are, in my opinion, very, very sad. Like, if I were to be with someone and they did that to me, I just could not accept that. That would be, and I feel very bad for them for those things. Like, that's really hard, or certain situations, it's very hard. But I started to come to the conclusion that maybe it's not me, like I'm not stupid, I'm not a failure for, maybe it's just they are unhappy with their lives, and any little thing that they can nitpick out of anyone else's life, I don't know. So I don't know, that's just a little basic situation. I don't know if that makes complete sense. It's kind of hard to give the full idea without going into every little detail that's happened, but that is just something that I became more aware of in myself, is like attachment to other people's ideas on certain things, and being like, hey, like I'm not I'm a person, like, I'm growing and exploring in my own ways, and I'm really self-satisfied with that, and that's all that matters. Like, but okay, moving along. Another thing is attachment to people. And currently, I just got out of a decently serious relationship, and there is whether we'll get back together is kind of up in the air, but pretty much essentially very great person, very great like respect for each other, very much still like on good terms, huge amount of respect for the guy. And I know he has a lot of respect for me, and we still whatever talk and are friends. And it's kind of up in the air whether we will get back together, but I have kind of created no like attachment to the future. Like, it is just currently what it's at right now, and whatever is meant to happen will happen, and that has given me so much clarity. Like, just picturing where things are at right now and where I'm at right now, and what do I want for myself, and are we going to be able to like mesh? And there's no right or wrong. I have had it in the past where I've gotten so attached to the idea of a future with someone, like things that have not happened, things that have been not discussed, like people you would just be talking to, or you've gone on a date or two with. Been guilty of this many times, and then it's not a good fit, and you lose your mind because you created this whole story in your head of getting married, having kids together, like all these non-existent memories of like maladaptive daydreaming that you just did, and you put all these songs, you listen to all these songs, and you imagine scenarios with them. So something I've like learned with the relationship aspect of it is to just take things for what they are in the moment and reflect on past situations, and think a little bit, think about the future, but don't let it consume, like don't let it, how do I word this? Don't let it set what it is. Like, don't go based off of the future. It's okay to think about it, but don't let it consume you. And also another part with like just attachment to people is something that I've accepted is everyone in life will either die or leave your life. You don't really know when it is for either of them, and you don't know which will come, if someone will leave or if they'll die. It's all up in the air. Like, there's no certainty with life. So what I've learned is just to really value human connection, but don't see it as like my, like possessiveness. Just like how I also don't like to view like objects that I own. Like, for example, this car I'm driving right now, sure, it's in my name, sure, it's but this car had many owners before me, and eventually it will give out, and I will need to get rid of it, and either it'll go to someone else, or I'll run it to the grave, and it'll be demolished. Like, everything is temporary. Like, the house I live in right now with my parents, eventually it'll belong to someone else, or it could burn down. Eventually it will not have any connection to me. It's quite frankly just something that at the moment I have a connection with. It's not really just like how kind of our body is a vessel, like eventually it will no longer be here. I don't know. And that is, thinking of some of it is really like kind of disturbing almost. But if you really think about it, and you think about, hey, like how can I give my life meaning, like outside of materialistic objects, or outside of like your connection with a relationship or person, and instead just focus on in the moment the connection and having fun and enjoying life and experiences, that is something that I think is very valuable. And if you can learn to do that, it's an amazing thing. But yeah, anyway, sorry, I just wanted to go on a little rant. If anyone finds this helpful, which I hope it does, let me know about your kind of experiences and your stances when it comes to things like this. But yeah, I'll see you around.